Hi, it's Jennifer Hollick from the World War II Research and Writing Center. I am in beautiful, sunny, warm Arizona right now, coming to you. And I have been working this morning on a lot of writing and a lot of conversation with Jenny, who is a family member and also was a WAC during World War II. And we've been talking about our stories and the things that I'm writing and a lot of the questions that come up that people in my writing group are talking about, the things they're exploring with their family. And I've actually been taking that writing program and it's being created into something different now, a much greater kind of course, and probably a lot of other things that will show up. Maybe some talks. Maybe I'm going to start speaking on a completely different topic soon. But one of the things that came up in all of the notes that I've been taking and notes that I brought with me was a story that I had written, not really a story, more of an article that I had posted about virtues and the things, the values that we pass along in our families to our children. And this article is somewhere on my website, and I'm going to probably expand it and use it in the things I'm working on. But when we think about values that are being passed down through the generations, a lot of those also become virtues. And the official definition of a value is basically something that's important or worth something to us. And a lot of those things become virtues, which are behaviors showing high moral standards. Now, when we're thinking about our family history or our military history, or even our history, we think about the values that are passed down or those virtues that we hold for ourselves or our family members. I think the one thing we have to keep in mind is, these high moral standards that we hold people to based on whose judgment? My judgment of the life I've lived, the life I choose to live now, which is very different from the way I used to live. We tend to record the facts and the basic things about our family members, but not always digging in and looking at those deeper issues like values and virtues and why they held those things dear. What was the historical context behind that? Because they may have held something in high regard that means nothing to us today, but that's because of the circumstances in which we live, the times in which we live, and what we've gone through in our lives. So as you're writing your stories or you're looking at the past, whether it's family or military or even yourself, think about the values and virtues that you feel are important. Think about those that your family felt important and see how those incorporate into your life story now or the stories that you're writing about your families. And again, I say this a lot in my different articles and when I speak and my videos, we can't judge the past. It's not ours to judge. We didn't live it. We weren't standing there in the shoes of the people who made the decisions or felt that this value was so important, it was life or death. We just have to look at it as an observer and see what it was and try to understand why it was and see how that applies to us today and just let the rest go. So I hope that gives you something to think about as you are working through your writing and your research, and feel free to let me know how that's changed what you're doing. Thanks.